Hello, hello. All right, microphone check 1 2. Microphone check 1 2. Hello, hello, hello. There's spiritual work to be done. There is spiritual work to be done. Who is ready, willing, and ready to take care of the spiritual business at hand? There's a lot of things going on, and there's always peace, and there's always peace. So, this is for those who want to bring forth what is needed. Obviously, peace is needed. So let's find that peace inside of ourselves. Let's unravel that peace inside of ourselves. Come sit with me, Master Shane here, Internal Arts Mind, Healing Holistic Being Temple. And I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission. I think we're all on a mission. I think we all have a purpose. Even if that purpose is to create a purpose, that is a purpose. So, what is your purpose? The deeper that you are in your purpose and the meaning inside of your life, the more fulfillment you will find in life. And there's a lot of people kind of looking for things to do. So, this is to help direct them inside of themselves, to help them fortify their own inner strength and not be affected by the things outside of themselves. One thing that I can say in this introduction is how I am noticing I've been embracing my healing journey and how I'm noticing how people have been very affected in the past from a lot of the upbringing and a lot of different things. It's not to say anything negative, it's not to put anybody down. I'm very happy, I'm very thankful for my path and the difficulties and the challenges that I've had to face, for they have helped me become who I am today and who I am only beginning to become inside of myself. So you just have to kind of sit here and listen and pay attention, open yourself up, be open, willing, and ready to receive. So state to yourself, I am open, willing, and ready to receive. I am open, willing, and ready to receive. May this be for the highest good and the highest good only. Being a man or woman of value. And as Thumper and Bambi would say, that his mom taught him, if you have nothing nice to say, then don't say anything at all. And I think this is pretty good advice. We're going to go deeper into that in the sense of the spiritual work is not only being more aware and conscious of what you are communicating, but taking care of the negative thoughts, actually transforming the cynicism, the negative outlook, the negative perspective, the negative thoughts, all these things. Otherwise, they manifest. To face our fears in meditation. So if you've been affected, you feel down a lot, this, that, but you want to do good, you want to do things, you want to be a part of something. Listen up, pay attention. I have some wisdom to share. This is not some fabrication. This isn't some long, drawn out meditation. This is just purely in the moment. There is some premeditation as I have been working and sharing some of the things that I have experienced today. So it's almost like a brain dump for me to be able to get things out there and to help other people. Just get things out there. It doesn't have to be what one would think is perfect. If somebody else judges, well, so what? That's them judging. May they be well. May they be free of judgment. It's understanding what's really going on inside of you. Because the more that you can take care of that inside of you, then the less affected you can be by outside forces. And if you notice, we become quite touchy feely in a lot of ways, not necessarily in a good way. So, to help those who want to fortify strength, but being careful because it's also about purifying your heart. the lesser known, lesser done activities, the true spiritual work of why we are here. There's many children being born with many, many different gifts that other people may not understand. And so the only thing that they know is to try to put it down because they haven't faced the fear inside of themselves. So it's not taking offense to that. It's not taking it personal by any means, but understanding that these challenges, these difficulties are blessings, that there is a silver lining, that maybe the soul, the spirit agreed to it, called for, wanted it before, so that the soul could grow in ways unimaginable. And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. There's a lot of health issues that we're dealing with. And how open is somebody? How receptive is somebody? I think this is very important. A lot of times we get caught up. Are we really present in the moment? Do we understand the harm that can be caused, the harm that we may be doing to ourselves and others? I know from my experience how that can be when somebody is not mindful, when somebody is not present. Experience that today. A lot of other issues follow. And in a state of confusion, you almost feel like everything's going wrong all the time. And if you tell yourself that, then you're affirming that. So you have to be careful. You have to be careful. And I talk to a lot of people. And so this is my service and directing them to that. Like, if you want my help, here you go. Listen to these are teachings. It is what it is. It could be tea time with Master Shane, whatever you want to call it. I just had some lemon water. We make things too difficult. We make things so complex when the reality is they're so simple. So we got a little bit of short time here as I have sort of a time limit and for me to just get things out. I'm getting to this wonderful place inside of myself, and I never thought I anything like this would happen, existed. But if you don't search, if you don't look, how will you know? If you don't open yourself up, how will you know? A lot of people may say they know this, they may say they know that, they may think they know this, they may think they know that. But do you know yourself? Self knowledge is all that there is. And to learn to rebuild your life from the ground up, it's easy to live some fabricated life without realizing the suffering, the pain, and the hurt that's actually going on. So, who's willing, ready to take responsibility? People may act different ways, and that's okay. Ultimately, it's about you being you. But who are you? There may be a lot of things going on through history. There's been wars, there's been famines, there's been all sorts of things that have made us rise up, that have made us come together so that we can make it through. And so during different so called good times, it's easy to forget what's really going on. These are some of the things that I've done in my life where I've forced myself, where I've put myself in different situations and simulations. What would it really be like? And it's not just all about us, as there's a collective consciousness. There are many, many people here. And so just getting into service and helping, but first and foremost, helping yourself, helping yourself. Because I talk to people, right? And this is one of the biggest, most common obstacles that we continually feed and hold on to is that we think other people need so much help, but yet we're good. I'm good. I want to help other people, but who are you? See, I realized how much I was suffering. Actually, I didn't realize how much I was. I just realized that I was suffering. I realized I was in a state of confusion. I realized I didn't love myself. I realized I wasn't happy. And so I set off to do these things. These were my goals early on. And they just opened up more doors along the way. It also helped build me, my character, my energy, my awareness, my peace. And I'm very happy that I did because it's helped me get to this just amazing place inside of myself. And maybe it's taking me time, but better late than never, right? And all the people that I can help because it's so easy for me. It's natural for me. It's just a part of me these days, this now. But before, suffering was, it was learned helplessness. It was this aversion that I took on. But it's not to blame, it's just to take responsibility and to understand, okay, what needs to change now to change things. It's okay. What has happened, happened. We're not here to try to change the past. We're not here to try to, you know, the point of power is in the present. So it's what we do in the present moment that counts the most. And family is a big part of our life here. It brings a lot of fulfillment, but it also can be very harmful if we don't understand how we mirror back to each other and what we need to do, what we really need to do. There's spiritual work to be done. So staying out of trouble and really like immersing yourself and becoming who you can become because that's who you must become. And it has to get to that point because there's a lot of people who just lets life slide by. And sometimes we get a little bit too involved in family where we forget about ourselves. We forget about why we're here. We're not here to just take care of other people. This is a spiritual understanding. This is a spiritual journey. So there's a spiritual aspect of that and making sure that you have room for that. Learning how to shift the energy, how to transform yourself, because that is one of our greatest discoveries. When you really think about that, getting into the quantum reality, the parable realities, any reality that's possible exists. It's not just one finite, just one concrete reality that we live in. We live in a multidimensional world as well as an endless sea of possibilities. So what is your timeline? Where are you really? And we're going to get into different techniques and yoga and all that different type of stuff. But first we have to have certain understandings. It's not about show. It's not about this. It's not about that. It's about you finding yourself first and foremost. And then once you find yourself, it's about sharing that gift to the world. But first, you have to find yourself. First, you have to let go of what everybody else thinks so that you can know your own thoughts, be the master of your own destiny. So, being careful, we have to get into meditation, mindfulness. Not only is it helping bring forth peace and more contentment so that you're not tempted by all of the harmful things out there, because we're not here to judge, and this is something that a lot of people have to get over, especially in like spiritual circles and different things. It's like that's not the answer, right? You don't get rid of hate by more hate. So if you don't get rid of the criticism by more criticism. So if you're criticizing some type of product or service that is harmful, well, then what are you doing? You're not exactly breaking the pattern. You're not exactly changing and transforming the pattern. And that's what it's all about, to be the change, to be that from within inside yourself. And I find that's one of the greatest lessons, is that's what it's here for, is to help show us, to help us get to this point inside of ourselves that we don't wish that upon anybody, and that we're willing to do what it takes. So do you really need the appearance of things? Or what you need is to really root inside of yourself. Things happen in life, but it's how we handle them. It's how we keep on moving forward. And what's really, really important is for households, is for families to work together as best as they possibly can. There's a, so taking care of yourself first, taking care of your worry, taking care of your stress, getting to work, doing the spiritual work. And work's a beautiful thing. It's kind of funny because you start to take away the work and then people start to get offended. So learn this, because the future is only beginning. And this is what we can leave here, is that is a big part of getting over this stuff. This poor attitude of work. Like, we don't want to work, this, that, the other thing. But that's what life is all about. This is just because you are in certain patterns doesn't mean you have to stay there. It's not a life sentence. So what if you find yourself unhappy? It's a blessing, it's a silver lining for you to find out what really makes you happy. Of pushing yourself, of becoming who you need to become, because that's when you're going to be happy, is when you're on that path, not necessarily just chasing pleasure, fleeting pleasure, this, that, the other thing. It's rolling up your sleeves and getting to work, getting to the spiritual work, getting to the physical work, getting into the mental work. So this is my service. Just being able to listen to this is going to help you a lot. It's not about how we look per se in the moment, because this journey is about loving yourself. It's about opening yourself up and understanding that we have room to learn more about love and what it truly means to love yourself, what it truly means to love other people unconditionally, without these ultimatums, without these conditions. This, that, the other thing. Oh, if you don't believe in this, you don't follow that, you don't identify yourself as this, then what? Where is that coming from? How is that helping other people feel free and honest inside of themselves? What value is that bringing to other people? So being careful of what you speak, very careful of what you speak. You don't need to go out and spend money all the time. That's not where you're going to find your fulfillment. It's going to be in your spiritual work. And through your spiritual work, you're going to find more of your physical work as well too. Taking it one day at a time, building that consistency and that momentum inside of yourself, mindfulness, meditation. We can say things and we can say that, but we also have to be careful because it's about purifying your heart. There's a lot of techniques, there's a lot of systems, and there's also a lot of harm being done. So, what's really going on? What is really the peaceful solution here? Because we all want similar things, we all want a beautiful family experience. So, there's spiritual work to be done, finding yourself and devoting yourself to your life's work. Because you got to love what you do and you got to do what you love. But first, that comes in loving yourself, cleaning out your heart. We're going to get into different practices and this and that. But we have to be careful and mindful of our energy, our negativity, our judgment, our greed, our anger. It's not about living some glamorous life, it's about living your life, no matter where you find yourself, because we're all dealt cards in life. So the question is how can you make the best of your hand? How can you make life as much of an adventure as you possibly can? So these are some things to think about, and I appreciate you, and I hope you have a beautiful day. We'll see you soon. I love you.